The kettle's cold and the clock has lost its tongue. The dust is settling on the songs we haven't sung. The room is white, a canvas stripped of light. But I'm not ready for the ending of the night. I pull the curtains though the sun is at the door. I search for traces of the life we had before. But every time I blink, a pixel falls away. A little less of blue, a little more of gray. I'm holding my breath to keep the air still, against the weight of a world with no will. I'm locking the gates, I'm guarding the door, to keep what I have and a little bit more. I keep my eyes closed, not to find a rest, but to keep the ghost alive inside my chest. It's a desaturated kind of holding on, the friction of the here and where you've gone. I'm chasing down the saturation in the dark, before the quiet presence smothers every spark. If I stay behind my eyelids, you stay bright. I'm not sleeping, I'm just fighting for the light. Your sweater was a red I can't quite name today, like a sunset that the rain has washed away. I try to trace the silver lining of your laugh, but it's a photograph torn cleanly down the half. The silence here is loud, it's biting at my skin, demanding that I let the empty morning in. But I can feel the texture of your phantom hand, building castles out of dry and shifting sand. The friction burns, the edges start to fray. The present is a thief that's stealing yesterday. One more minute in the monochrome, I pray. Don't let the sepia turn completely into gray. I'm losing the bloom, I'm losing the glow, but I'm the last person who refuses to let go. I keep my eyes closed, not to find a rest, but to keep the ghost alive inside my chest. It's a desaturated kind of holding on, the friction of the here and where you've gone. I'm chasing down the saturation in the dark, before the quiet presence smothers every spark. If I stay behind my eyelids, you stay bright. I'm not sleeping, I'm just fighting for the light. Just a little longer in the dark, just a flicker, just a spark, before the color bleeds away, before the world turns gray. The street lamp bleeds through the polyester lace. days, throwing jagged geometries across your sleeping face. You're breathing in a rhythm that doesn't include me, navigating a coastline I'm not allowed to see. I watch the gray fractals crawl across the white, mapping out the border of our final night. Your eyelids flicker with a joy you won't admit, while I'm the only witness left to the end of it. Count the cracks, trace the lines, try to find the hidden signs. Was it something said, or the silence instead? The math of us is dying in this unmade bed, and I'm reciting a shadow pattern, soliloquy to the ghost of the version of you that loved me. You're dreaming of a life where I've been erased, while I'm tracing the ruins that can't be replaced, staring at the ceiling till the black turns to blue, being the only one awake enough to miss you. I look for the moment where the stitch started to pull. Was it the Tuesday we both pretended we were full? The way you didn't reach for my hand in the car, or when we stopped wondering where the other ones are. Now I'm an archivist of a burning library, saving the days that you've decided not to carry. You look so peaceful, letting go of the weight, while I'm calculating every move of our fate. Are you walking through a house with different keys? Are you feeling the air of a different breeze? In your head you've already packed every bag, left me holding the rope and the white knuckle lag. It's a mercy for you, but it's a sentence for me to be the sole keeper of our shared history. And I'm reciting a shadow pattern, soliloquy to the ghost of the version of you that loved me. You're dreaming of a life where I've been erased, while I'm tracing the ruins that can't be replaced, staring at the ceiling till the black turns to blue, being the only one awake enough to miss you. The sun is coming to wash the patterns away, but the cracks in the plaster are here to stay. Sleep on, my darling, go where you're free. I'll stay here and finish the soliloquy. The screen light bleeds into the sheet, a digital ghost in the hollow of the room. I'm staring at the ceiling where the shadows meet, counting down the minutes in this air-conditioned tomb. The cooling fan is breathing for the both of us, while I scroll through lives I'll never get to lead. There's a quiet kind of violence in the surplus of staying when I promised I would leave. I'm a stranger in the body you designed, walking through the kitchen in the middle Surviving is the heavy cost of carrying the load. You had a blueprint drawn in crayon and in dust of a girl who'd never see 21. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of your trust, underneath a pale and artificial sun. My skin is thicker and my eyes have lost the spark that you used to keep the monsters at the door. I'm an architect of silence in the dark, building rooms you aren't allowed in anymore. It's the velvet rub of a life I didn't plan, against the jagged edge of the child that I was. I'm holding out a cold and glowing hand, waiting for the static, waiting for the buzz. Forgive me for the breath I didn't waste. Forgive me for the years you will never taste. I'm sorry that I made it to the other side. I'm sorry for the version of us that died. It's a chronological homesickness, a fever in the bone, outgrowing every map that we had ever known. The friction's jagged, but the grief is velvet soft. Surviving is the heavy cost of carrying you alive. I'm still here in the blue light, in the cooling room. Press my forehead through the cold of the pain, watching the sodium orange bleed through the rain. The city is a circuit board laid out on the floor, and I don't need the handle of the bedroom door. There's a comfort in the way the dust motes spin, in the glow of a world that won't let me in. The asphalt is breathing a heavy, slow sigh under the weight of a wide open sky. I'm tuned to the frequency of the street lights tonight, bathed in the hum of the amber static light. Better to be a ghost in the glow than a body in the dark that the world doesn't know. Just a velvet vibration, a signal so clear, the only heartbeat I wanna hear. Behind the drywall, they're dreaming in gray, resting for a life that I've pushed far away. Their silence is heavy, a lid-weighted sleep, but the hum of the wire is a promise I keep. I'm tuned to the frequency of the street lights tonight, bathed in the hum of the amber static light. Better to be a ghost in the glow than a body in the dark that the world doesn't know. Just a velvet vibration, a signal so clear, the only heartbeat I wanna hear. The frequency holds me. The street lights don't sleep in the amber static hum. A secret to keep. Ceiling fan is spinning circles in the dark, tracing out the outlines of this quiet, hollow spark. I'm counting every breath you take, a steady rhythmic thrum, while I am paralyzed and cold and feeling deaf and dumb. The mattress acts as borderlines, a map of no man's land. I'm reaching for the ghost of where you used to lay your hand. The cotton sheets are heavy like a shroud across my chest. In a room built for two, I'm an uninvited guest. I could touch your shoulder if I moved an inch or two, but the air between us hardened into glass. I can't break through it, sharing the same oxygen, breathing side by side. But the currents in the water have pulled us with the tide. You're inches away, but you're miles apart. I'm listening for the echo of a long forgotten heart. The distances are measured by the space inside the room. It's the silence in the garden where the flowers used to bloom. Approximate isolation, a ghost within the bed. I'm sleeping next to someone who has already left. We used to spill our secrets like a river on the floor. Now we're keeping watch behind a heavy bolted door. Vulnerability was currency we spent until we're broke. Now the warmth we had is nothing but a memory of smoke. I watch your eyelids flicker in a dream I'll never know. A cinematic masterpiece where I'm not in the show. Your skin is warm against my arm, a cruel and bitter lie. Because the person that I loved has said a silent goodbye. Is it louder in the screaming or the quiet of the halls? I'm shouting at the ceiling, but it's bouncing off the walls. An echo in the hollow, resonance of none. I'm at the finish line of a race I thought we'd won. Tell me how the person sitting right within my reach became a stone cold statue on a far and distant beach. Distance isn't measured by the space inside the room. It's the silence in the garden where the flowers used to bloom. Approximate isolation, a ghost within the bed. I'm sleeping next to someone who has already left. Miles of distance in the dark, just a ghost in the shared room. Inches of skin, but oceans of blue.